All right, Skip, thank you so much for your time. And I have to ask you before we talk about baseball, with everything that's going on with the Marlins, we were a little bit worried about you. How are you? How's everything? Glad to see you back on the field, but please tell us what's been like for you for the last couple of weeks.
Well, it's been very challenging, no doubt. First outbreak team as far as COVID during the season. A lot of mistruths, unfortunately, about it started when we either right before we left at Miami or got into Atlanta for our preseason games. We had one case, and then that led to cases while we were breakout. So we were quarantined for 8 full days in Philadelphia. We couldn't leave our rooms with the exception of going to a different floor to catch our meals. I was supposed to have picked up my sweet wife a week ago last Monday back in Miami. And, you just got to continue to make adjustments. The biggest thing is people's health. So I've been praying for the guys that are sick and all of the sickness around the world, and hopefully we'll get healthy. And we've gotten off to a decent start. We've lost the last 3, losing tonight to the Blue Jays, but and then the last 2 games in New York City against the Mets. But hopefully we'll get back on a roll. And it's been overall it's been a pretty good start to the season, although it's been very trying.
Talking about your former team, SK Wyverns, they're having a really difficult season. I'm sure you've heard not just the record. Manager Young is still hospitalized, tough time. I mean, what can you say to your former players and SK Wyverns fans? They're in a little bit of a shock right now because they're so used to seeing SK winning. What are your thoughts?
Still communicate quite often with Jamie Romack, and he sends messages for me, and Jew, one of the interpreters. Yes, I do stay in touch with them. I look up statistics, I look at the record. I was very, very concerned about Manager Young, Kondok Nim, and I've checked on him many, many times and sent him many messages. First and foremost, we get so wrapped up in what we do in the game and wins and losses. And I wish the team was more successful. I really do. That hurts, and I know it hurts. It hurts management. It hurts ownership. It can be debilitating and demoralizing for the players. But first and foremost, the health and safety of everyone, and that comes back to Kondok Nim. I was very, very concerned about him collapsing in the dugout. As I've said, I've checked multiple times on him. I know he's doing better, and I know he's on the mends, but I'm still concerned for him because it's just like I tell my 26-year-old son. Unless you've done the job, don't pass judgment on how difficult the job is. And when baseball teams lose and you're paid to get to win, it's hard. It's very, very hard. So the stress, obviously, and the strain can take a toll on your body. I know he cares as much as anybody I've ever been around, and I just hope for his health first and foremost. And from a team standpoint, my encouragement would be, hey, refresh your mind every day and look forward to being able to do something positive for your team every day. Try to have as much energy as you can. You're blessed to get to play baseball. I remember challenging the team a few times when I was over there and said, hey, what if this was your last day to wear a baseball uniform? How would you want to be remembered? So that's what I would encourage the SK guys for. I know that they're next to the last place. I know the last 10 games have not been good. I know the record is not good. I know the hopes for playoff is dwindling, and it doesn't look good. But at the end of the day, you're very blessed to get to do what you do. So make the most of every day, because you never know when that last day in uniform is going to be taken from you.
What about the fans? They're in a utter shock right now. Like I said before, they're so used to winning. SK Wyverns have been a winning organization, and this came as a hold on a second.
Attention.
That was on my end.
Emergency reported in the building. Please evacuate immediately to the nearest
Oh,
emergency
they're
exit.
telling us to evacuate our rooms.
Okay.
Just please keep the faith. You know, it's very frustrating to see a team that you're cheering for and so loyal to that's not having success. But just keep the faith that things will continue to get better. And you know, if you need to look to the 2021 season, then do that. But also keep hope that you can continue to see improvement from some of the younger players that are continuing to develop at the major league level there in the KBO. Because that's all part of the process, and that's part of where SK is right now. You know, we've got younger players in the mix, you've got some older players, and you know, you got to continue to build for the future. So look forward to the future, not only 2021, but the future of this year, and looking forward to the improvement for some of the younger players and the veteran players as well.
Well, Skip, thank you so much for your time. It was really good to see you. The fans here miss you. We wish nothing but the best to you, to the team, and for your family as well. One last word for all the Korean fans, not just SK Wyverns, but all baseball fans in Korea. What can you say to them?
KBO fans, I miss you. I miss you very much. Thank you so much for all your support for me when I was there with SK. And I wish you all health and happiness. And I hope your families are all well. And just keep supporting the KBO.
Tonight's game, you had a closer look at Hyunjin Ryu. As Hyunjin was getting off the mound in the first inning, did you have some sort of an exchange with him? It looked like he kind of turned towards you as you were walking back into the dugout. Did you say something to him?
Yeah, I didn't say anything, but he did. He said, hey. So he was just acknowledging that he knew I was there, and that was nice of him. But I don't ever like to bother guys while they're out there trying to perform. You know, it's one of those things that these guys are out there performing. Nobody pays to see me coach third base, and we don't have fans right now anyhow. But you know, I try to leave these guys alone. He's out there doing his craft, and he did it very well tonight.
What was your observation? What did you see from him today? His command seemed a little bit off.
Yeah, but he still got back in counts with the changeup, and he was pitching to both sides of the plate and elevating his fastball the way he can. And at the end of the day, you know, when he needs to go to that changeup, he knows he can throw it for a strike or throw it just out of the zone. So it was very typical Hyunjin, and he was, even though he wasn't as sharp as I've seen, he was still very, very good.
And you can't tell us everything, but what was kind of your game plan going into tonight's game?
Well, knowing that he was going to go to his changeup whenever he needed to. But, you know, there's so much late bait to it, and it's so deceptive that it makes it really, really difficult on the hitters. And then, you know, he can still get it up to 90, 91, 92 if he has some reach back in him. I think he hit 91 a couple of times tonight. So, you know, it may look easy on the air, but, you know, when you've got that changeup that looks like coming out of the exact same arm slot and it's 10 miles an hour off that 89 to 91 mile an hour fastball, he makes it tough on you.
What makes, besides changeup, what do you think, what makes him a special pitcher?
The ability to stay away from the barrel. You know, he can still flip that curveball in there. He's got the slider where he can back foot it to mostly right-handed hitters. You know, so he's very deceptive, not only with his change in velocity, but also changing planes with the ball. You know, he can make it come here. He can make it stay on the same plane until that changeup fades out of the zone, down and away from the right-handed hitter. And then he's going to throw that fastball in and away, and especially up in the zone to try to get chased. So he's got a lot of weapons, and he never panics. You know, it's the same old Ryu that I saw in LA, and just like he's been his whole career over here. He doesn't have any panic in him. He stays very, very composed, and he knows exactly what he wants to do, and he reads swings very, very well.
Donnie knows him really well, and I know that Hyunjin, he's a very special person. Have you had any opportunity to speak to Donnie about Ryu?
Oh yeah, we've talked about him many times over the years. Yeah, and you know, Donnie holds him in very high esteem for the craftiness that he uses with his left-handed, his starting ability at the major league level. Donnie holds him in very high regard.
Okay. Well, Skip, thank you so much for your time. It was really good to see you. The fans here miss you. We wish nothing but the best to you, to the team, and for your family as well. One last word for all the Korean fans, not just SK Wyverns, but all baseball fans in Korea. What can you say to them?
KBO fans, I miss you. I miss you very much. Thank you so much for all your support for me when I was there with SK. And I wish you all health and happiness. And I hope your families are all well. And just keep supporting the KBO.